Ephraim Hatfield, nicknamed F of All, was born in Russell County, Virginia in about 1765. He died on October 13, 1847, aged 82 years, in Blackberry Creek, Kentucky, though there are some variations as to the precise date of his death. His nickname came from the fact that he is the first Hatfield to settle in West Virginia-Kentucky area, and the feud participants came from his blood. In about 1787, Ephraim is said to have married Mary Polly Smith in Russell County, Virginia. Mary was born on the 25th of November, 1754 in Newcastle, Wilmington, Delaware. She and Ephraim apparently had 5 or 6 children together, and she is said to have died shortly after the birth of her last child, Lydia Bridget. Before F of All moved from Virginia, the great-grandfather of Devil Anse had his hands full taking care of his children, and also farming his own unyielding land. Yet, in the summer of 1792, a band of Shawnees struck a neighbor's place, located near the settlement at Honaker, Virginia. On August 12, 1792, David Music lived on what was then the frontier on Thompson Creek, Russell County, Virginia. Early in the morning of that day, his home was besieged by a band of Shawnee Indians, their headquarters being the Scioto Valley far away in the Ohio Territory. The story retold goes as follows. 2 of the boys had gone out to gather wood for the fire when they discovered the savages skulking near, ready for a dash toward the cabin. The children returned quickly, and the father directed that the doors be barred while he undertook to load his flintlock gun. As the Indians charged the house, Music had difficulty with his rifle. As he held his weapon in place, his wife brought a bit of fire from the embers in an effort to ignite the powder in the firing pan on the breech of the old gun, but the fire failed, and Music was critically wounded by an arrow from one of the red men. They immediately sprang upon him with their tomahawks, and he was murdered in the presence of the horrified wife and children. His widow, Anna, and their 5 children were carried away by the Indians. Her oldest son, a bright boy of 12 years with his fine head of red hair, was looked upon by the Indians with favor, as they had dreams of adopting him into their tribe as a future chief. The Indians would eat raw meat without cooking it, and tried to force Anna and the children to do the same. The smallest child of the Music family, a boy of 5 years, cried and refused to eat the uncooked meat. Whereupon one of the savages cruelly grasped the child and jammed his face against a rough tree, causing lacerations, which left lifelong scars on the boy's face. In the book, Tale of the Devil, the exciting story, with all its twists and turns, continues. We find that F of All, a widower, was one of the brave men who gathered in a makeshift posse to rescue in Music and her children from the band of treacherous Indians. Sometime late, after Anna and her children healed from the trauma of the Indian raid and the loss of David, a romance developed between F of All and Anna Music, and they were eventually married. Together, F of All and Anna raised his children, and the children of Anna and David Music. Theirs became one of the great love stories of the Virginia frontier, and, of course, they later moved to the Tug Valley region. They are buried together in McCarr, Blackberry, Kentucky, side by side till the end. David and Annie are Leo's 5th great-grandparents. Historian Robert Spence once wrote about the account and stated that F of All saved a family from captivity and perhaps sudden death beneath a tomahawk or scalping knife. The Hatfields had entered history at that particular time and place. Devil Anse Hatfield was 16 years old when F of All passed away. It's likely that he heard F tell this story to him on occasion.
So you turn left, where we just showed you, and then it's literally right here. You'll see the sign right there. I can't see, yeah, right there.
This is Anderson Hatfield Memorial Cemetery.
I'd like to take a picture of that sign. And then there's a little hairpin turn road that goes to it.
Private property. Close the gate after dark.
Keep left right here, of course. Alright, so we're going to find the F of all.
See, he's right in here somewhere.
I see him. I'd love to come up here and just wash these stones off so you could read them. The ones you could save. Lenore McCoy. What are you doing in a Hatfield graveyard, Lenore? 1922 to 1923.
1 year.
1 year old. There is a lot of mingling. The Hatfield McCoys, you know, they're just people. Just people. So here is the F of all, not to be confused with big F.
Read that.
Here lies Ephraim Hatfield, born in Old Virginia before the War of Independence. F came to Kentucky around 1820. All Hatfields from the Tug Valley area are descendants of Ephraim.
Was a widow and 2 orphans.
Oh, it's right here. Here lies Annie, wife of Ephraim and ancestor of many of the Hatfield music and Roman families in Pike and Mingo counties. She was captured and kidnapped by Indians in 1792. Her husband, David Music, was massacred by the Indians, but Annie and her children were rescued by
Hayside,
Virginia, as the Indians were taking them to Ohio. She later married Mr. Bundy, then married Ephraim Hatfield. Annie was living with her son Jeremiah in the house at the bottom of the hill when she died. So she was in Preacher Anse's house?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So where's her grave?
Says she's here.
Oh, she's here, but it says Ephraim on the top, which is kind of... So he is married next to Annie, whose name was Annie McKinney Music Bundy Hatfield. It's too bad she doesn't have something bigger that says Annie. I'm just saying, because that's, you know.
Yeah.
Just saying. There's a female. The F of all's grave has this velvety, moss-like grass around it that seems to be here all the time. It's really nice. Makes you want to just like lay down on it and waller, go to sleep.
Like a carpet.
Yeah. So if you are a bloodline Hatfield, this is your ancestor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess that's it. We will see you next time when we'll bring you a different adventure.
We'll go find something different.
Go find something else to play with. Please subscribe and support our channel so we can do more and show you bigger and better things.